Brad Garlinghouse was interviewed on 60 Minutes, one of the biggest news agencies or news casters in all of America, right? For decades and decades. This could be really big. Also, I've got a lot of great XRP and Ripple content. I got a few videos here, and we're going to talk about all different kinds of aspects around the XRP ledger. You definitely want to stay here and watch this. I'm going to give you a bunch of context. It will get you caught up. Let's get into it. I'm Crypto Sensei. Thank you for being here. If you gain anything from this video, please hit the like button. It helps me get in front of more amazing people like you, and that's powerful for me. So thank you so much for helping me out. So last week, 60 Minutes interviewed me about crypto. This is Brad Garlinghouse saying this, of course, to push for regulatory clarity and how the industry banded together to advocate for pro-innovation candidates on both sides of the aisle through Fair Shake PAC. So, Ripple did a really good job about being positioned on both sides of the aisle here, right? You had Brad Garlinghouse basically coming out to, pro-Republican, pro-Trump. And then you had Chris Larson, who was donating money to, candidate then Kamala Harris, right? They were working both sides of the aisle. That's what you have to do. Now, I know there's some people who watch this channel who feel that one side is probably better over the other side. It's all good, right? At the end of the day, the team at Ripple is working for mass adoption for the crypto industry and using XRP. And they will do whatever they can to facilitate that through the channels that they're able to do. And so there are some rumors, and I think this is just what it is, a rumor. Maybe it's for engagement farming, I don't know, but Brad Garlinghouse has stepped down to lead the crypto world for Donald Trump. I don't think so. Listen, I think Brad Garlinghouse has too much invested into Ripple and XRP. I think Ripple would have a tremendous hole to fill if Brad Garlinghouse were to step down and step away. I think he's a pillar in the industry. I think people look up to him. I look up to him. And I don't think you can replace somebody of that stature currently with Ripple. So I don't think Brad's going anywhere. But I do think Brad's comments about how crypto could be more widely adopted, how the rules around making crypto and the clarity around crypto, he could give Trump and his team information to help make the crypto industry better in the United States. And why would you want to do that? Because the US has the biggest financial markets in the world, right? And if you can get us getting our shit together, the rest of the world will follow and come in line. All right. Over the weekend, whales bought about $50 million in XRP tokens. Wild weekend. As you can see here, man, it just feels really good to see that just blow off the top. It's hard because I look at XRP up, 150%, and I'm excited about it, right? But like, I'm out here in the trenches trading, decentralized science tokens, agent AI tokens, meme coins. I'm like, nothing really gets me excited unless it goes over like 100x, right? And so it's hard. My brain's a little fucked up. That's what happens when you're in crypto for so many years. Your tolerance for risk, and 100% gain, I could do better, right? Like, it's still really good, right? The average returns in the stock market are like 10%, right? So to get 100% a year, 150% a year, it's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful thing. Anthony Welfare said Ripple adds $5 million to the new fund from the UK's biggest fund managers, right? So tokenization of the multi-billion-dollar asset industry on the XRPL. Guys, we know how important it is to bring value on to the XRP ledger, okay? I personally think the Ripple, the company, and the XRP ledger are positioned perfectly for this the world moving to distributed ledger technology and adoption, right? They have the best in-class technology that banks and financial institutions want. They have the technology that central banks seem to want, right? They have best in class tokenization of assets, and then they're building interoperability between all the chains. And then you have a stable coin. Listen, if you take the time and research all of these different crypto assets, you will find a few different things. One of them is not a lot of these crypto assets actually have revenue, right? The companies are making money. They're in a positive light. If you look at R3, right? If you asked me 2 or 3 years ago, is R3 going to overtake Ripple and XRP? I might have said, hey, it's close. They're looking really good. But you know what R3 doesn't have is paying customers, right? And now they're trying to ship it, chop it up and ship it and sell it into little pieces because they don't have a paying audience. So when you look at Ripple's business, they actually have some of the biggest banks in the world working with them, right? That want to use their technology because it's best in class at everything Ripple offers, right? Payments, central bank digital currency, tokenization, right? Real world assets, stablecoins. It's all there. Also, you had XRP Ledger experiences a brief halt, right? What? A halt? The XRP ledger was launched on June 2nd, 2012. It is now 12 years, 5 months, and 23 days old. As of November 25th, 2024, this marks the second halt in over 12 years of operation, during which now fully validated transactions were produced. The halted ledgers were these ones right here. Okay, about 2 hours of halting over 110,000 is extremely efficient. By comparison, Bitcoin experiences a halt about once every 34 days, with Solana faces halts almost weekly. So, hey, shit is gonna happen, but at least it doesn't happen as much around here than it does over there in Solana land, right? Just kidding. I love you, Solana. All right. Eleanor Tarrant comes with the fire. She says global ETF provider Wisdom Tree Funds has registered in the state of Delaware for an XRP ETF, right? This is the fourth one. XRP ETF is going to be here before you know it. Brand spanking new. All right. Breaking HBAR and XRP joined forces to revolutionize US payments. Guys, if you're not following me on Twitter, what are you doing, right? Come follow me on Twitter. We have a lot of great content that the team puts up, and 354,000 views. I love you guys so much for supporting the channel. You can also support this channel by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, or if you want to join Cryptonaires, that's probably the best thing that you could do if you want to get valuable information quickly. We have hundreds of researchers from all across the crypto sphere, and they're all in one place. You have KOLs, you have researchers, you have meme coin traders. I mean, there isn't a better place to get crypto information than Cryptonaires. All right, let's keep going. So we use XRP to facilitate transactions. Brad Garlinghouse, great.
It's a very global business. 95% of our customers are non-US customers. About 40% of our business is in the Asia Pacific region in terms of payment flows. And again, our customers, Ripple, the company, our customers are banks, financial institutions, payment providers. We use the XRP ledger, and we use the token XRP to kind of facilitate these transactions. Some people get confused about which is which, but Ripple, the company, our customers are all these banks and financial institutions.
Our customers are all these banks and financial institutions. That's the reason I wanted to play that clip. Doesn't really have too much other meaning besides that. That's a big point, right? How many other crypto projects do you know that are directly working with some of the biggest financial institutions and banks in the world, right? Like you could probably name them on like a hand in the crypto space, right? It's not a lot. It's not a lot. So remember, XRP equals Bitcoin for banks. Bitcoin is 90,000 without banks. Bitcoin is, well, I mean, you have institutions buying it, right? So, but now imagine where XRP could go with the bank. So what we're trying to get to is all these ETFs are coming, right? You have institutional money that is going to want to buy possibly one of the greatest assets in the world for doing pretty much everything, right? Bridging assets, sending value across borders, central bank digital currency, tokenization of assets, right? Stable coins. It's all there. Everything that you need to make a powerhouse is there. And Ripple has all those building blocks, right? They have other people building on their technology. That's the holy grail, right? There's a strong business case for the digitization of trade finance. And it's thought that digitization processes will allow cross-border payments to be made faster, more securely, and more efficiently. This could be made possible by the use of blockchain. And of course, we know Ripple is the ideally suited for trade finance, which is specifically built to support cross-border payments and international transactions, a Bitcoin for banks, if you will, right? That is what XRP is. Imagine what the price of XRP will be once institutions and tokenization is really here. When you have 100 trillion, 500 trillion on blockchain, where does most of that money end up? It's going to end up at the top, right? The top 10%, 20% of tokens, right? That banks trust. The technology's been around for a decade. That's where the money's going to end up, right? That's your XRPs. That is your XLMs, your quants, right? Your XDCs. That's where we're going. So the use of tokenization in financial markets, the Association of Financial Markets in Europe, which is called the UFAFME, the AFME, has released a proposed vision and policy recommendations in relation to those for distributed ledger technology. So we're not going to go through all this. Please, I don't want to put you to sleep. But Europe should maintain its lead in DLT as a driver for digitalization and growth, economic growth. It also talks that a token economy can bring safer, faster, and cheaper transactions across all sectors while driving innovation, accessibility, and goods of service as in capital markets and economic growth, right? It's coming for all the money. DLT offers an unprecedented opportunity to achieve long-standing goals to integrate capital markets through upgrading and redesigning financial infrastructures. At the moment, the EU capital markets remain fragmented due to the lack of harmonization in legal and regulatory framework in relation to custody, asset servicing, and tax-related processes. So once all of this stuff is solved, Okay. You can build all of this into smart contracts, right? Where you don't need these third party participants, right? These tax collectors or these framework specialists or, these people that, need to be the third party on all of these deals. When you have smart contracts, you can save all of that money and all of that time, and it creates an easier process for all of your processes, right? This is what we need to get to have mass adoption. DLT presents a unique solution by offering the ability to streamline issuance processes and compress execution and program settlement times, as well as innovative market structure. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the holy grail of what we're trying to accomplish here in the United States, and the EU has really got the thumb on the scale. EU capital markets more easily enabling the shift from bank-based financing to market-based financing. In turn, this should also reduce incentives for the EU companies to look outside the EU to raise capital, right? So they're making it easier for companies inside of the EU to raise capital and get better terms. DLT can also expand the scope of asset classes that can be tokenized, allowing non-financial and financial assets to benefit from highly automated trading and post-trade processes, right? It was really incredible. I was listening to I think it was like a space talking about capital markets and how that they could use capital, how the US market will go live and then it'll be like, oh, well, it depends where you're going at the time of day, but you have the UK market, you have the US market, you have the Japanese market, Australian market. There's all these different times of the day that these markets launch and then they close. But if you could take the capital that you're using to trade in one market, and when that market closes, bring that capital over to the next market, right? Because when you tokenize all of this stuff, you can move it more seamlessly and easily at the snap of a finger for little to no cost. This is what big institutions can use to really scale their growth and their plan of action, right? So the possibilities are endless, and I would be surprised if in 5 to 10 years we're not talking about all kinds of new things that we never even thought were possible. All right. And of course, it's going to improve post-trade integration, data transparency, right? It's all coming, ladies and gentlemen, to a theater near you. I shouldn't have drank all of those energy drinks today. All right, please subscribe, share some love. If you made it to the end, please let me know. I love you the best. Thank you so much for being here.